This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hi, Jason Glick. It's July. Welcome to July.
It's really fucking hot. That's all I can say.
It's hot. Yes, that's right. So, yeah, and welcome. It's a summer, definitely summer, which means con season is in full swing. So there's all sorts of I think Anime Expo. We were just talking just before the show here. Is on, and then Comic Con's coming up, and there's all sorts of great cons, I'm sure, other places in the country that are happening.
Yeah, like the con of all cons will be happening in another 2 weeks.
Oh, yes, indeed. The San Diego Comic Con, which they still have an attendance cap, don't they?
Yep, they're
Yeah.
still working on getting it raised once they get the expansion of the convention center approved. But God
Yeah.
knows if that's ever going to happen.
That's the answer right there. How are we going to raise the attendance cap? Well, we got to build more building. It's not. We're going to move to another bigger building. We're gonna build a bigger building or add on to the existing building, which is what's going to happen. They're going to add on to the existing building. So, interesting solution there. I like that. Sure.
Assuming they can actually get the provisions passed, which it's like has not been something they've been able to do for like the last couple of years. But hope springs eternal, and at the way things are going, I imagine like the heat from Comic Con will probably die off before they can actually get things approved. But it's like they have until 2021 in order to work things out based on the most recent extension. So.
Yeah, well, that's probably more likely to happen than the Chargers getting a new stadium. Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that one out there for you football fans because I know that that's always a sore spot for them. Anyway, it's like, hey, the city was able to upgrade. They were able to upgrade this. The convention center for Comic Con, but screw football.
Exactly.
Anyway, so what do you got on the menu for tonight, sir?
Okay, tonight is it's something a little heavier than usual called Ichi-F, a workers' graphic memoir of the Fukushima nuclear power plant. As most people remember, it's like back in March of 2011, there was a tsunami. A tsunami hit Japan and caused severe damage to one of the nuclear plants at Fukushima. It's like there was like the area around it was evacuated. Much of it still remains evacuated to this day. It's like, and thankfully a meltdown was avoided. But there was lots of property damage. It's like property and environmental damage suffered as a result. Now, it's like what we have here with this manga is a first-hand worker's account of the cleanup effort at Fukushima. And Tatsuda, the mangaka, it's like he's a guy who we're introduced to him at the very beginning. It's like, well, the first chapter is kind of a day in the life at cleaning up. It's like at the power plant, but it's like it shows you like all the troubles he goes through just from driving there, from putting on the proper safety equipment, getting properly covered in order to work there, but also like his desire to work there, just like, hey, because it sounds like interesting and high paying work as well. Because he's a guy who no, he wasn't a full-time mangaka before this, so he was like so he decided to try and work here based on the just to sound like interesting work and also high paying. So the first chapter does a good job of like laying that out, and subsequent chapters continue to show you it's like what he and his coworkers do. It's like whether it's whether it's just making sure people who are actually doing the cleanup work are properly being properly examined. It's like and aren't radioactive as they come back to the rest areas. It's like and also showing you like how things are like slowly improving. It's like in the in the exclusion area as well. It's Okay, on one hand, it's interesting in the sense that like this is information that's not like readily broadcast to us like on a daily basis. I mean, after it was real that like Fukushima wasn't going to melt down and things were like getting back to normal for Japan, like it kind of faded off the news cycle from here. So, in the sense that like Tatsuda's experience showing us just what daily life was like at Fukushima, as well as actually like spotlighting its subsequent recovery. It is a valuable document. It's like, and there are some interesting bits here from from him showing us talking about how hard it is to actually get recruited there, but also the dodgy business of like how subcontractors try um hold out send out work here because like apparently he was I'm hired through several different subcontractors that took a huge bite out of his paycheck. It's like as a result, and also like some of the like fun bits of like hey, working at Fukushima. It's like in the summertime while you're wearing like several different layers of protection in order to keep you clear of any radiation damage as well. It's like and also pointing out the fact that hey, that there's that there's like lot that well, at the beginning there was lots of junk and wreckage strewn about the area. It's like as things went on, like things got picked up, and also things got a lot greener as well. Um, like I said, like there's lots of plant overgrowth. Cows started coming back to the area as well and blocking off like lanes at certain points. And he also like goes into like certain bits about like how hard it is to like find proper living areas here, and also just dealing with his employers. It's like as far as when it comes to like getting what's coming to him as far as pay and compensation. Oh, and also just like mundane bits as far as hey, making sure not to tie uh, um your your breathing mask too tight, lest it cause you like a severe headache after you've been working on the job. It's like for the last like for 8 hours or so. So it's like on what? So yeah, like as far as providing information, Tatsuda's Ichi-F is an invaluable document. It's like in that regards. As far as providing a engaging reading experience, not so much. Because here's the thing: the main reason I decided to pick this this brick of a manga for my podcast tonight was because that I've had this for like over a month now. Now I generally tend to order stuff on the right stuff on a monthly basis because that's after a certain point that's when new manga releases like I've accrued enough certain new manga releases in order to get them on my like to read list or to match the $50 free shipping level free shipping economy level from Right Stuff. So, but the thing is, so while I can normally burn through a lot of these things, it's like within like a day or so. Ichi-F was honestly kind of a chore to get through because for all of his attention to detail here, Tatsuda doesn't really establish two things crucial to to nonfiction manga. He doesn't establish a real ongoing narrative to the to his exploits in in Fukushima. I mean, what he talks about here in terms of going from work looking for work there to working at one of the inspection areas to actually working in the in the plant itself, and then falling out of work for a while, and then working on the manga that's about about his times there, and then finding new work there. It's like on one end it's probably very true to life, very authentic, but at the same time though it's not very engaging the way he puts it, and the he fails to really establish a lot of interesting characters as well. I mean, there are people he works with, but there aren't really any memorable people as well. It's I mean, sure that was true, but at the same time, it's really hard to get invested, without like having like a solid narrative or characters that we care about here. I mean, yeah, he portrays himself here, but for the most part, he's fairly agreeable, and he's just kind of like our point of view character. Just it's like learning about like how things work, like working in the area, and then subsequently serving as a kind of like an older mentor character to the new guys who are like go on to the job. So on one hand, it's like it's just not very engaging. It's like, and to be honest, like it was it was pretty hard for me to actually like, sit down and read through this without being fully invested in this. I mean, most comics and manga I go through, I can just burn through like in about a day or so, because it's really because it's just fairly engaging to get through. With Ichi-F, it just felt like a lecture more often than not. And well, and also this also got me thinking about, well, like like not all nonfiction comics have to be this way. In fact, one it's like some series I kind of draw their engagingness from their descent in mundanity. I remember doing time, manga from Kazuichi Hanawa, who talked about his experiences in Japanese prison, which had the effect of making you realize, hey, you never want to go into Japanese prison because it's boring as fuck, man. But and also Hideo Azuma's disappearance diary, where he talks about the time that he ran out on his family and his publisher to become a homeless man, to become a pipe layer, or when he was like admitted to a hospital and deals with alcoholism. And on one hand, that was interesting because it's like like I said, it was an unusual situation for someone to be in, but also for the fact that like it was a relentlessly positive experience. Like he portrayed his exploits as kind of an adventure, but at the same time, it was like so positive in that regard that you wonder, well, gee, man, like what was your family going through at this time? That like I said, the negative stuff you just kind of nags at your subconscious in that regard. But I was also reminded, reading through Ichi-F, I was also reminded of American creators, creators like Art Spiegelman with Mouse, who took a horrible experience that of his father going through the concentration camps in World War II, and at the same time though, like that was actually a very compelling narrative because he fashioned a straightforward story of how his dad dealt with Nazi oppression prior to being taken into the camps, and then showed us how his dad survived the camps, but also how it kind of had this effect on him later on, like how this desire to pinch every penny, kind of like wore on him. It's like later in life as well. At least that's how I feel. And as far as going into the utterly mundane, there's no one better at this than Harvey Pekar of American Splendor fame. In fact, Pekar, he can still, even though he's just talking about even when he's just talking about the time he had to go out and do some shopping, early in the morning when he's married to his first wife. It's like, and how he just goes to the store, gets his stuff, meets up with one of his buddies, talk, and they meet a pimp along the way. Then he goes back home, and his wife berates him for getting the coffee because she told him specifically to get that. There's still a narrative here, and there's still interesting characters along the way. It's like, for all that Pekar is excuse me, that Pekar is willing to venture into the mundane, and God knows that Pekar will hit the mundane stuff as hard as he possibly can. There's still you're still engaged because of the characters, because he still fashions a fairly straightforward story. Here in each like short comics work that he does. With Ichi-F, it's more from the not like it's all information. Yeah, we'll hear about the time that that Tatsuda like tried to find a new place to live outside of work when he sings enka songs. It's like in his spare time, or when he actually gets the job with Kodansha, like putting out the manga, which he works into the story of making a manga about the Fukushima power plant. Um, it's like I said, it feels more often like a lecture, like just telling it that you're just telling us information, but without properly fashioning it into a proper narrative with memorable characters. So, when if you are interested in learning about the Fukushima power plants, like the repairs that need to be done, like what kind of effort goes into like having the workers maintain a steady work environment there, like then yes, I recommend that. If you need something that's has a nice solid narrative hook to it in order to get through it, then I don't know. You probably want to check something else out. I mean, as it is, this is the only. It's not even the only manga we get about the subject, but as it is, it's like I don't know. It's like I've read better autobiographical manga, but hey, it's the only thing we're going to be getting. Only comic we're probably getting about the Fukushima power plant. So I don't know. It's like so whether or not you think this sounds interesting or worthwhile to pick up on your own, like on its own terms, well, there you go. You'll have to make up your mind. As for me, well, if nothing else, I got a whole podcast out of talking about my opinion about this. So I guess it was worth it in the end for me, though I'm not sure if I'll ever be picking this up again. But we'll see. John, so any thoughts on your end about all this?
So it sounds like I have to save some money with this one. You'd probably be better off.
It's on. Well, the thing is, like the edition we got here is actually a 3-in-1 omnibus. So for something that's like well over 500 pages, it'll set you back $25. Less if you buy it digitally. So I was like, whether you buy it digitally or in print, you're probably getting a decent enough deal than if Kodansha had decided to release all 3 volumes individually. So I guess they deserve props for that in that regard.
Okay, all right. Well, and it being kind of an interesting topic, relevant and somewhat current events, even though it's been like what was it? What when did that happen? Like
March 2011. So
2011. That's like 6 years ago. Yeah, I know. It's definitely a heavy thing that they're still reeling from. I don't think people understand that, but yeah, it's not. Those of us who don't live in that area probably don't see the impact unless we see it on some documentary or some news piece.
Yeah, but, actually, one of the things that he mentions later on is that he never states that people like actually recognize that he was like doing a manga about the about his experiences there, but he gets the feeling that, but it's kind of implied that some people did actually figure it out at some point. So it's kind of I'm not as far as like him getting more volumes about showing him working more there. It could be that people must have realized, this is the guy who was doing a manga about his experiences here, so we're not going to hire him anymore. So that's kind of the impression I got by the end of the manga. So
okay, all right. You know what you're going to talk about next time?
Not a clue. So it'll be just as surprising to you as it is to me at that point.
All right. Well, then we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks with the Click.
All right. Laters.
Bye.